but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history, the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID, will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 12th of April. It's the year 2020. And I am showing you some footage that everybody is getting all over the United States and has been for the last several weeks while everyone's locked in their houses hiding from a mild flu that has actually killed probably a few hundred people. And all that information is easily researchable, but why bother doing that when you can listen to the mainstream? What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to point out a couple of things. A lot of people are trying to say, these trucks are just being delivered. We do have factories in the United States. Well, here's another thing. The factories in the United States, I don't know if anyone's been paying attention, are closed down. There's a 60-day cease of movements on the military in the United States due to the pandemic. And a large majority of these vehicles that are moving absolutely everywhere aren't brand new. They've been used. They already have markings. Some of them are pulling trailers, generators, etc., etc., etc. So if ignoring what's happening around you right now is easier, that's great. But commenting on videos, you're actually helping push their agenda forward. If you don't know what's going on right now, I'm not sure if you ever will. If you think the new normal is not being able to touch another human being, staying 6 feet away, wearing a paper mask for something that cannot medically or scientifically be transferred in an airborne fashion, if you think that Donald Trump is nothing more than a two-time billionaire, Zionist, Kabbalah-loving shill, then you're never going to get it at all. If you cannot see what's happening right now, I don't know what to say to you. But here's the deal. I'm going to read this to you from the Corbett report. James Corbett is a really, really great researcher, and I think he nails it here. And I'm going to play this video footage so you can understand what's coming. Maybe you think I'm talking directly to you, but I'm trying to reach as many people as I possibly can, period. So there's that. So check this out. I'm going to read this. James just put this up yesterday. I'm going to read this entire letter to you, and hopefully it makes sense. This was penned by James Corbett, April 11th in the year 2020. The lamps are going out all over Europe. We shall not see them lit again in our lifetime. World War I conspirator Edward Grey. I do not write these words for my contemporaries. We are the damned. It is our lot now to watch as the lamp of liberty is extinguished. Our burden to bear witness to the final flickering of the flame of freedom. No, I do not write these words for my peers. I write them for those yet to come. The inhabitants of that future dystopia whose birth pangs we are experiencing. The remnant of once free humanity who might, through some miracle I can't even imagine, come across this electronic message in a bottle. I know that it's almost hopeless, that the chance of these words surviving the coming internet purge are slim at best. That even if, against all odds, this message does wash up on your digital shores, that the chance of these words being understood by you is even slimmer. Not because you don't understand English, because you no longer use these words I'm writing. Freedom, humanity, individual. Still, I am here to record the end of an era, so I will press on in the hope against hope that someone, somewhere in the future digital dark age, will have eyes to see and ears to hear. The darkness is descending. Let there be no mistake. We all know this. We know what it means when 17 million Americans, a full 10% of the workforce, are added to the unemployment rolls in a mere 3 weeks. When they are joined by millions more newly unemployed ex-workers all around the globe. When modern-day breadlines stretch for miles in the heart of America's once proud cities. When the phony baloney fiat funny money debt rises over 24 trillion and the Fed's Sovietization of the economy is complete. We know what it means when police start shooting people dead for not wearing a mask, when drones police quarantines from the skies, and robots police lockdowns on the grounds. When governments admit to tracking every movement of every citizen and begin internal checkpoints where digital immunity passports determine who may pass and who must stay in their home. We know what it means when billionaires start telling us that their new experimental mRNA vaccine will be able to release us from this nightmare. When they threaten to mark us with invisible ink tattoos to ID the vaccinated. When they tell us that we will not be able to buy or sell or participate in the economy until we can prove our immunity. It means that the Corona world order has arrived. Oh sure, some will still deny it, but they're only fooling themselves. They're afraid to admit that it's true. Many are still under the old conditioning that told them to bleat conspiracy theorist at anyone questioning authority. We have a name for that kind, sheep, or sometimes sheeple. The masses in our day are kept in the pen by the jackbooted sheepdogs of the police state and led along by the political puppets who act as their shepherds. Occasionally, a wise old-timer in the flock cottons on the game, but the shepherd has only ever fleeced the flock before, so he resigns himself to his fate. Why struggle? It's mostly painless. Never did the sheeple suspect that someday the shepherds would lead them to the slaughter. It is a term of derision, of course, sheeple, but I like to think that it doesn't just speak to our stupidity, it speaks to our naivety and innocence. We are trusting and gentle creatures by nature, peaceable, cooperative. That is nothing to be scorned. If it weren't for the predators in our midst, our failings could even be counted as virtues. But I'm not here to say that. I'm here to say this. Resist, struggle, fight. You are not cogs in a machine. Despite what the shepherds of your day may be telling you, you are free and beautiful human beings. You are not born under the authority of another. You choose how you live your life, not some bureaucrat, not some police robot, not some immunity checkpoint algorithm or QR code. You do not need permission to buy or sell or to assemble or speak your mind or to leave your house. You are not an asymptomatic carrier of whatever virus your misleaders are telling you to be afraid of. You do not have to shelter in place because someone in a white lab coat told you to. I want you to understand that once upon a time, the government didn't have the right to know where you were, who you were meeting with, what you were buying, and what you were doing 24/7. Hell, the government didn't even have the ability to do that. I need you to know there was a time when you could leave your house when you wanted, travel where you wanted, buy and sell as you saw fit, meet your neighbors, rally, protest, and party. Live as free human beings are meant to live. Oh, what am I saying? These words, this language, it makes no sense to you anymore, does it? These concepts don't exist in your time, do they? You go where you are told to go. You stay home when you are told to stay home. You shut up when you are told to shut up. You think what you are told to think. I can't blame you after all. You're trusting and naive and peaceful, like a sheep. But oh, how I weep for what you have become. I tried to avert it. Please believe me, I really tried. But the lamp of liberty is being extinguished and I am bearing witness. I don't know if history is something you study anymore, but UK Foreign Secretary Sir Edward Grey made this observation about the lamps going out all over Europe at the end of the so-called 12 days. The period during the summer of 1914 in which the mainstream history books tell us that the British was trying to avoid a world war. We are asked to believe that this prescient remark proved Grey to be a sage diplomat, racked with grief over the pain and suffering that was about to be unleashed upon the world. But this is history by the winners of the worst kind. In truth, Grey himself was one of the conspirators that actively working to bring the First World War about. What's more, the source of his quotation is in fact Gray himself. It was first recorded in Gray's own post-war memoir. Any tears shed by Gray over the extinguishing of those lamps were crocodile tears, to be sure. One can well imagine that we were told some years hence that Bill Gates made a similarly portentous remark at the onset of the corona crisis. Gazing out of the window of his $147.5 million, 66,000 square foot Zandia 2.0 mansion at the then epicenter of the U.S. outbreak in Washington state. Gates' post-coronavirus memoir will no doubt tell that he remarked to an underling, "The lights are going out all across the globe. We shall not see them lit again in our lifetime." But his memoir will no doubt fail to inform us that he was smirking as he said it. To my children or my children's children or whatever remnant of once free humanity happens to unearth these words in that God-forsaken future we are goose-stepping into, I'm sorry. I failed you. We all failed you. But remember this, as long as the blood of your forebears flow through your veins, the lamp of human freedom shall not be extinguished forever. Let it shine, dear sheep. Let it shine. Richie from Boston, reading James Corbett's words penned on April 11th, 2020. And yes, America, this is it. I'm out.